Oh no! After divorcing Cory Hardrict, Tia Marie is said to still harbor a number of regrets and to have been pressuring herself back into his life. However, are they actually back together, or are the blogs merely fictitious? You know what, though? People say she probably deserves it after what she did to Cory, and how she just sat back as he was hounded for being a leech. In fact, according to a recent source, Tia will need to work exceptionally hard to win her guy back if she and Cory are to reconcile. According to The Insider, when Cory found out that Tia was leaving him, he was distraught. Additionally, the same buddy stated that Tia's action betrayed his confidence and that Tia would need to regain Cory's trust if they were ever to be back together. People are essentially claiming that Tia Marie started an "I am divorced and happy" tour after openly divorcing her spouse. She then declared that she was getting back into the dating scene and began taking risque pictures. However, she now sobs every day and longs for Cory to return after learning that no one was there to welcome her because the dating scene is garbage. She has been out here talking about him all the time because of this. All okay, so what's the situation? Have they reconciled? Or is Tia still attempting to make things happen? Now let's get started. As you are all aware, there has been a long-standing belief that Cory was only using Tia as an extort to get money, and that they were together as a safety net. The problem is that Tia and Cory first met in 2000 while working on the Hollywood horror movie, which came out 5 years later. Tia claimed that after a night out at the Cheesecake Factory, when Cory chased her to bring her flowers, she first thought she would fall in love with him. And based on what Tia disclosed, that's how she fell in love with Cory. They quickly began dating and finally tied the knot. However, when people began researching Cory during the divorce, they discovered that the state of California had given him an unemployment check. In 2001, however, the state allegedly initiated a case against Cory after learning that he was ineligible and having not received the money back. The interest allegedly skyrocketed because Cory never paid the money on schedule. Given that this occurred around the time he met Tia, it was widely believed that he approached her because he saw her as a safety net. This seemed to indicate that he was only interested in Tia for her money, because at the time, she was already well-known and wealthy. Furthermore, when the divorce was still going on, some began to claim that Cory never loved Tia based on the interviews he did with her. After all, Tia and Cory finally got divorced, and the divorce papers stated that they had no joint assets, so anything Tia bought on her own remained hers, and everything Cory bought on his own remained his. Additionally, Tia was allowed to keep the house and everything in it. Additionally, she was able to retain all of her credit card, airline, and reward points. In other words, Cory left with nothing. Furthermore, it was established that neither of them could use any negative, disrespectful, or disparaging language about the other in front of or near their children. Additionally, according to the divorce papers, each party was prohibited from introducing the children to new romantic partners until they had been in an exclusive relationship with the romantic partner for at least 6 months, even if one of them went on with new romantic interests. In addition, Cory first disputed the divorce by claiming that irreconcilable differences were not the cause of the separation. In addition, he allegedly requested that the court decide if Tia was entitled to spousal support and that Tia continue to provide him with financial support. In order to ascertain whether the prenuptial agreement dated April 14, 2008, was lawful and whether any of its terms were unconscionable, he then took Tia to court. On social media, this led to people accusing Cory of stealing her money. Cory claimed that the reports were false, but Tia remained silent as he was being pulled once more. She even contributed to the hatred directed at Cory. For example, when Lee Hammock made a scenario on TikTok about a couple, one of whom is content to pay the expenses together while the other uses deceit to avoid doing so. Tia used eye emojis in her response to that video, thus expressing her agreement with Lee's points. Tia was all over the place bragging about how happy and comfortable she was shortly after filing for divorce. She even talked candidly about the very moment she decided she didn't want to remain married, stating that she needed to put her happiness first. As I mentioned earlier, the majority of individuals claim that Tia is regretting her choice, since she has come to the realization that things are not better elsewhere. Additionally, she now only discusses loneliness and solitude, as opposed to her earlier discussions of happiness and contentment. In addition, she has been acting out on social media quite a bit. She wrote, "I have a confession to make," in one of her recent Instagram posts on how she discovered to welcome solitude as a chance to rejuvenate. "Never have I been alone myself. So far. Because of my career and family obligations, which kept me surrounded by people all the time, as well as the fact that I had a twin, I have spent the longest time in the company of other people. Growing up, I rarely spent time alone. I realized that being alone wasn't a punishment, but an opportunity to recharge," Tia said, describing how she welcomes solitude and found something unexpected. "I made a conscious effort to turn these times into an essential part of preserving my well-being. This change also helped me appreciate the importance of spending time alone and rejuvenating my mind and soul." Tia captioned it and added that she was doing a lot of things by herself. "I used to mistake loneliness for being alone, but I've since learned that loneliness and solitude are two entirely distinct things. Being alone is not a penalty, it's a present. The magic happens when you sit by yourself. You can hear the whispering inside of you and find inner calm during those peaceful times. This journey has been intense, and I'm learning to actually adore my own company." She continued to express the same sentiments over the holidays last year when she wrote that being a single mother may be isolating and that co-parenting during the holidays is a journey that is full of conflicting feelings. "It's different, and yes, there are moments when it can feel difficult and even lonely, particularly when you're getting used to a new family dynamic. But as time has gone on, I've discovered its beauty. In addition to giving my children the chance to develop deep bonds with both parents, it gives me a place to reflect, heal, and recharge. As a single mother, I'll admit that I occasionally feel burdened by the fact that our family doesn't look like other families. But what do you know? It's all right. Being different does not imply being inferior. Keeping the traditions alive for my kids is the most important thing because despite appearances, we are still family. Indeed, if you followed her reality program, you were likely aware that Tia was bringing up Cory frequently and in ways that suggested she genuinely desired to reunite with him. Cory first claimed that the divorce had affected him, but regrettably, it has been revealed that he has moved on. Rumors have also been circulating that Teal actually went back to Cory and pleaded with him to reconcile. And while Cory has supposedly been living his best life and is scheduled and busy, I'm not sure whether that's real or if he truly took her back. Recall that he claimed to have received his largest payout from divorce in the black, but he did not specify how many zeros were on that check. Cory said divorce in the black changed his professional path and earned him his biggest Hollywood check from Tyler Perry. He also said that he would like his earnings to stay in the same ballpark, or maybe exceed it when asked if the salary would set the standard for his next project. According to reports, Cory already had a couple more jobs lined up that would pay well by the time production was finished. Although Cory has acknowledged that his family has always come first, do you believe he should win Tia back after all the embarrassment she caused him? Was it really fair for her to remain silent and witness him being hauled away for allegedly only staying with her for the money? Let me know what you think about Tia apparently pleading for Cory's return in the comments section below. But if they are truly back together, I hope she stays off social media since that was a complete catastrophe. Back in the space provided for comments below.